watch this storm closely with us if you are in any of these communities showing up or in a community nearby. So as Grant was just saying, yeah, Wingo, you've got about 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes before this storm moves into your area. Mayfield, if this circulation continues, it would be about 11:58. Again, you may get storms in that area before this actual storm makes it in. In fact, it's raining right now in Mayfield. Tinsonia, 12:13, Fair Dealing, 12:22, and then pushing out of the heartland. So just to kind of give you guys a time to when you need to really pay attention to this storm, especially if we continue to see the signs of strengthening over the next couple of minutes.
And again, I don't think we have any warnings officially out right now in the heartland. We're watching a couple of very intense storms. We got another storm that's really intensified here in northern Crittenden County, but it's going to be out of our area in a few minutes. Robin, are you still back there? Okay, what I want to do is see if we can get some more reports. Do we have any reporters out on the damage that we can talk to real quick and get a kind of an update or any other new information from damage while we monitor these storms closely? Okay, I'm going to toss it to Kathy. She's at the news desk with a lot more information. Kathy?
Yeah, Grant, let's update power outage situation right now. At last check, there were about 5,000 homes without power in western Kentucky, concentrated again in McCracken and Ballard County pretty evenly. Let's go right now on the phone to Keith Todd with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. Keith, thanks for joining us. What's your biggest concern right now?
Well, we're asking people to avoid the areas along the path of the tornado. We have our Transportation Cabinet crews are out there trying to clear down trees. They're working with utility crews. We have a lot of debris in the roadway, in some cases pieces of barns, pieces of grain bins, pieces of houses. US 62, even once we get the debris cleared, is going to be closed probably all of today, maybe longer. We're putting up some message boards at Wickliffe to keep truck traffic off of Kentucky 286 between Wickliffe and Paducah, because once they get up to the path of the tornado, there aren't any back roads that they can cut through to get back over the Highway 60. So any travel between Wickliffe and Paducah should travel US Highway 60 today and probably tomorrow, and we should have message boards up within the hour to kind of direct people around.
Keith, we're taking a look as we're talking to you live. No doubt some of your crews, along with other folks, along 286, an area near Harris Road where our Chelsea Anderson is providing some coverage for us. And there's a grain bin that's damaged, and she had heard that there was possibly a person trapped inside. Are you hearing anything about any specific injuries to anyone yet?
The only thing I'd heard that there was something had fallen on a truck maybe, and there was an extrication, but I really don't know anything more than just bits and pieces. I do know that our crews are working with the area fire departments, rescue squads, and all of the other agencies to try to get the roadways cleared as quickly as possible to allow access into all of the homes and farms out in that area. And other than that, I just know that they're really busy right now trying to get things cleared up enough that responders can get in and check on everybody.
Yeah. Hey, what would you like folks to know? Maybe they're at work right now or they're not home, but in order to get home, they're going to run into some of these areas. What's your best suggestion for them throughout the day and even possibly into tomorrow?
Well, US 62 is closed from near the Information Age Park, or the Commerce Park as it's called now, all the way almost to Lovelessville, and then the intersection of Kentucky 286 and 62 is closed, and some of 286 in the Milan Station area there near the Ballard-McCracken County line. And we just need people to avoid those areas so that we minimize the number of law enforcement people that it takes to handle traffic control and that kind of thing. The less traffic we have going that way, the more they can concentrate on actually helping the people that are out in the area along the path of the tornado.
Yeah,
so
no
that is our appeal for the day.
And Keith, for people who aren't as familiar as you are with this area, what kind of a mileage would you say is impacted? When you talk about these closed roads, how big of an area would you say received some damage from this storm?
I'm going to say maybe a 6 or 7 mile path through there. I'm not quite sure where it goes as it goes across the West Paducah area. I know there are a couple of damaged utility poles in the mall area there at the west edge of Paducah, near the New Hope Road and Olivet Church Road intersections. There are a couple of utility poles there, and then going back toward Lovelessville from there, there's a pretty large area through there with, barns with roofs that have been ripped off. I know the emergency management folks have set up a command post.
Chief, I hate to interrupt you, but we need to get it back to Grant. Thank you so much. Grant, what's the latest?
Yeah, I'm getting very concerned about northern Crittenden County. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning out, but I was looking at this storm on my other source in the third dimension where we can see all levels of it. And there's a lot of rotation just off the ground, and it has what we call a condescending cone. I know that sounds like a pretty interesting scientific word, but you can see the cone coming down towards where the mid-level rotation, which means that rotation is very likely trying to reach the ground or getting close to the ground. So if you're to the northeast of Marion, Kentucky, this is for Crittenden County, along Highway 60, also along Highway 120. I want to zoom in a little bit farther. Again, the low-level rotation is not all that impressive, but the mid-level rotation and the overall structure is pretty significant. You can see the inflow coming in right here. So I would want everybody in this area to just kind of act like there's a tornado for the next 5 minutes, because that's how it's going to take for this storm to get out of here. Again, Marion, Kentucky, this is off to your east. This is for extreme northern Crittenden County. Highway 60, between Highway 60 and Highway 120, we're seeing a sign of very strong, and see, here's what we're talking about. It's getting closer to the ground. It's broad, but there's the spin right there. There's the spin. So we may see, if this gets a little tighter, the Weather Service may go ahead and pull the trigger on the warning, but the mid-levels, just off the ground, this is tight. It is touching each other. And so we've got the possibility of a tornado developing right now to the north of Marion. Brian, did you see anything?
Storm that's getting very close to Mayfield. It looks like there's some broad circulation right now, but again, it looks pretty suspicious to us. So no warning currently. The storm is very close to Mayfield and Graves County.
Right, but okay, we're going to keep an eye on that as well. But you can see very strong gusty winds in that hail core over Highway 60. And then at the surface, it's not very impressive on the velocity, but just off the ground, it is very tight. We're looking at the lowest tilt on the radar right here. So that's why I want to just kind of tell people in northern Crittenden County, based on what's happened today, it's just get in your safe spot. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. This is to the northeast of Marion. If you have a basement in northern Crittenden County, that'd be the place to be for the next 5 minutes. Again, this storm is next 2 minutes now. They just updated. So these storms are racing off to the northeast at 65 miles per hour. And looks like we just kind of took a power hit here. And that's, look, here in Cape Girardeau, we just took a power hit. It's clear. Yes, we've got very strong gusty winds. So you folks in southern Illinois, southeast Missouri that are wondering what's going on, why are we on the air the whole time? It's because we've had a line of very intense weather that has caused damage, has caused tornadoes, and will likely continue to, at least for the next hour, be a threat to our viewers that watch us in western Kentucky and northwestern Tennessee. So there's that storm that's moving out of Crittenden County. Still no tornado warning out on it, but based on how the atmosphere has been acting and based on the reflectivity, the velocity that is just off the surface, I would take this storm very seriously for the next 5 minutes as it moves out of Crittenden County. You can even see that little hook right there. That tells us there's a strong mid-level circulation right there. And it was looking like when I watched the storm in 3D, I was looking at all scans at once, that the rotation was trying to lower. So that's why I wanted to interrupt our damage coverage just to bring warning on northern Crittenden County. Now I want to talk about the storm that Wibbs and Brian are monitoring as well, and that is the storm that's moving through Mayfield, Kentucky right now. Again, this is a very highly populated area. A few years ago, had a significant tornado in this area, as you know, on the north side of Mayfield, Kentucky. But we want to see if we have any strong winds moving in right now. Earlier, this storm was showing some signs of rotation, and it's showing very broad rotation. And there's a tornado warning. I wonder if that's the storm that we've been concerned with in Marion County. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. Let me pan things out. Yep, it's that storm in Marion County where I kind of just said, go ahead and act like there's a tornado. Again, that was very strong circulation just off the surface, and it looks as though it was getting closer to the ground. 12:15 is when this warning goes out until for Crittenden County. Folks, it's not going to be here that long. It's 11:55 right now. By 12 o'clock, it'll be out of Crittenden County. But we have a developing tornado that we were talking about in Crittenden County, and here it is, moving off to the north and east very rapidly. Are they tracking it at 60 or 65? 65 miles per hour. And again, Mayfield, Kentucky, we're not letting our guard down here. We're going to continue to watch that storm as well. But right now, our biggest concern is this big storm that's in northern Crittenden County on the northeastern part that will likely be producing a tornado here shortly, based on what the radar was telling us in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So let's zoom in.
By the way, Grant, I was just, because we were getting some power hits here at the station, I was just checking the airport is reporting wind gusts to close to 50 right now.
50 miles per hour. Remember, last night we had 52 mile per hour wind gusts with a rain shower at the airport, now close to 50 right now. This is in extreme northeastern Crittenden County. This is more than likely the strong downdraft winds on the backside of the storm hitting Highway 60 right now. Give you an idea of what the radar shows. Again, this is going to be a very noisy radar, so we can't take ground truth to what the winds are showing up with on radar, but 76 miles per hour wouldn't surprise me if we're having 60 mile per hour wind gusts on the backside of this storm. And this is the rotation right here, moving just to the south of Highway 60. Again, this is a developing tornado, at least on radar, and the mid-levels of this storm were very impressive. We can kind of go ahead and see if there's any sign of debris with this couplet, and we are not seeing debris. We'll see if there's any hint of it beginning to develop, and all we see really is the hail core. That is a significant hail spike coming off there, so there's probably some quarter-size hail. Yes, Brian?
1 inch hail.
1 inch hail, yeah, about quarter-size hail moving out of, again, that's moving out of Crittenden County as we speak. All right, let's get everybody caught up to date. Again, very strong gusty winds are occurring throughout the heartland. We're going to see sporadic power outages. If you have power right now, go ahead and plug in your devices just to be on the safe side. We will have winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour in many areas today. We're watching a storm near Mayfield, Kentucky right now. It is behaving. The atmosphere, though, across parts of Marshall County, Caldwell, Callaway County, and Lyon County are very conducive for strong to severe storms. You can see this line is finally entering our far eastern counties right now, and we're going to eventually, here in just a few minutes, we're going to get back to covering some of the damage, but until we have this tornado out of our viewing area, I want to make sure that we continue to monitor this very closely. And again, this is moving extreme northern Crittenden County, and this is about to move out of Crittenden County. This right here would be the possible tornado. We've got winds going into the storm, winds coming out. And right here, this is the hail core. The hail core has moved out of Crittenden County, likely quarter-size hail, moved across Highway 60 north and east of Marion. And this possible tornado now will be with us for about another minute based on what the radar is showing. It'll be out of our viewing area. Then we've got another storm we have to watch that's building up right on its heels. You can see two storms. One in Marion. This is the one that earlier had a tornado warning out on it, I think, in Graves County. That tells you how fast these are moving. This was well south of Mayfield, Kentucky about 30 minutes ago. And now it is moving off to the north and east and is about to move towards the Marion area. We'll look at the winds inside here. Very strong gusty winds. That fuchsia color is just very, very strong gusty winds, but we're not seeing any tornadic signatures that are lining up with those two storms right now. I bet there's mid-level rotation, though, with those storms that are headed towards Marion, so it's just what we got to watch. The rotation today has been in the mid-levels of the storm and then progressive